What's up, my little puppies and bitches? This is Raw Dawg Sports. I'm Evo. That's Mike.
It's weird, right?
It's weird. And they mostly come at night. Mostly. And welcome to Raw Dawg Sports, Week 5 recap. It was a rough one, especially if you were following us this week. We got to be honest, not the best week. Definitely not my best week. A rough one, but a very interesting week of football. Tonight, we're going to cover everything that happened in Week 5, including a little bit of Mark Sanchez, frisky knife action. We got some trades that are already going down today. It's not even a trade deadline, but we got it all coming to you here tonight on Raw Dawg Sports. And we got a Thursday night game to talk about that's coming up here in just a couple days. Mike, how are you doing tonight, buddy? Switching up the roles of who's doing the intro. Got to figure out my lefts and my rights. It's all opposite when it comes to doing this shit.
Yeah, so it took me a while to figure out the point when I initially got it going. And I'm doing, in general, I'm pretty good. Now, I'm a little fired up about a couple of different things. I mean, obviously, huge news around my Browns. The Creighton's football season just wrapped up, so and that was fantastic. They finished the season 7-1. They were a very, very good team. I owe him quite a bit of cash. I'm pretty sure like $50-$60 for the pancakes he earned in his 8 games. So I mean, I'm doing pretty good, but my team sucks. And our sponsor today, man, they've really earned this one.
Well, I'm looking forward to this sponsorship because it's all about making sure that we get sponsors who like our show, who like our content, who support our brand, and we really align as far as our morals and ethics and everything like that, which has really been a big part of the show. So with that, if you're ready, Mike, I think that we might as well get the sponsorship stuff out of the way, so that way we can get into our real bread and butter, which is football.
Absolutely. And if I could get producer Amber to make sure that we sent out a special tweet to tag all the people that we have to thank for today's episode. And today's episode is brought to you by Cleveland State University and Ideastream Public Media, the official sound of corporate silence. Need to silence decades of student voices before lunch? Try CSU and Ideastream. Just schedule a mystery Zoom. Don't say what it's about. And by the time the attendees unmute, boom, smooth jazz. WCSB, the Cleveland State University alternative radio station, run entirely by students, is no more. The executive magic trick that brought this was done by President Laura Bloomberg, whose leadership melody rings in around $464,000 a year. But somehow she had 13 minutes to spare for those students. They called a mystery Zoom, told students to show up, and then flipped the station while people were still on the line. Cleveland State is in a bad financial position, and nothing says desperate money grab quite like smooth jazz. Smooth jazz, the sound of out-of-touch radio execs and dashed opportunities for students. And if you're thinking, wait, transparency, nope, because there's something for that too. They had NDAs signed. So thank you to Cleveland State and Ideastream, because when you say experiential learning, we didn't realize the experience was going to involve the station getting gutted. Cleveland State and Ideastream are not actual sponsors. The following program is made possible by viewers like you, and absolutely no funding from Cleveland State University, Ideastream, or the Smooth Jazz Industrial Complex. All opinions expressed are satire and protected under the sacred American right to talk a little bit of shit. No students, DJs, or community voices were harmed in the making of this segment, unless the issue sent campus police again.
All
Fuck
right.
Cleveland State.
Hey,
I cannot believe what they have done at Cleveland State, man. If you don't know, people go check it out. Go read about WCSB and what is happening. It is fucking outrageous. It should not be happening. President Bloomberg looks like an absolute schmuck, in my opinion. But she is always kind of sucked, in my opinion. So atrocious nonsense happening at Cleveland State.
well, typically you normally don't get to positions of leadership without either sucking a few cocks or sticking your nose up asses, and generally being an immoral person. Morality and ethics, which should probably be a foundation of is learning. Normally isn't the case in most public universities, even private institutions. It doesn't really matter. I just feel like Smooth Jazz might have caught some strays in this one.
Oh, dude, fuck Smooth Jazz. Are you kidding me? Smooth, like, you talking like Kenny G, Smooth Jazz? Is Kenny G even Smooth Jazz? I'm not even fucking sure.
Have you ever laid pipe to Smooth Jazz?
I'm not sure I know what Smooth Jazz is. And I'm not sure I'm equipped to say the words laying pipe.
Have you ever laid Vienna sausage?
There we go.
Smooth Jazz. Have you ever had passionate thrusts into the woman that you lust to the sounds of smooth jazz?
Not the Smooth Jazz, baby. Is it exceptional or what?
I don't know, because when I fuck, I go deaf and nearly blind. It's just a mad rage of spasms. But I can only imagine the lovemaking to Smooth Jazz. Sorry,
that's
Smooth
what Cleveland
Jazz.
State is, I'm sure, excited about. Just fucking the Smooth Jazz.
Yeah, it sounds swanky to me. Real hipster vibes with it. But man, great ad read. Glad that we had another non-sponsor. Remember, cease and desist, or we'll just keep going. Because this is America, I think. Look, we had some crazy shit happen this week, especially in the realm of football. Sounds like some crazy shit's happening out there in your neck of the woods with Cleveland. But with that, Mike, do we have anything that we want to jump into before we just head right into week 5 of the NFL?
Brother, I'm not sure that I have much of anything. Shout out to the Riverside boys for what they did. Actually, shout out to my old high school teammates. I will see them this weekend. We're gonna have to figure out what time we're doing the show. I'm gonna be out in Cheyenne, Wyoming. My high school is doing a 20-year anniversary / reunion for the state championship team. The last time Central won a state championship, so I'm going to get out there, say what's up to the boys, hopefully create some content, maybe inspire some young Indians. Everybody relax. That's what the mascot still is there, okay? It's not my fault.
It's a country, people. They have red dots and Burka Durka Dirk, and they also are lots of telemarketers. Mike said it, not me. Yeah. I just work here.
Correct. That was good. So the Cheyenne Central Indians will be taking on the Cheyenne East Thunderbirds. That's going to be pretty dope. But other than that, brother, I got nothing else to say. Excited to see those guys. What else is there? Am I forgetting something?
I don't know. I don't think so. I think I'm just kind of like staving off the bloodbath that was week 5 in our betting record, particularly myself. There's a lot of red there, people. Blood was flowing. It did not go well. I can only take solace in the fact that we didn't have to watch the Green Bay Packers this weekend. My Vikings did get a win, and I had a good fantasy outing. That's about it. But look, an interesting week of football nonetheless. We saw all of our undefeated teams, all 2 of them, go down in week 5. But look, you ain't going to hit it 100% every time. We haven't hit it 100% once. Let's be real. Because if we had been hitting it 100% every time, we'd be in this awesome, swanky studio together, looking like the Joe Rogan experience. And I'd probably be on mushrooms or DMT like Joe. And, we would have our own smooth jazz station playing in the background 24/7 for Raw Dawg Sports. But look, you miss 100% of the shots that you don't take. That's Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott verbiage right there. And we took our shots and we missed. Look, Baltimore, wow. That team, like, we've gone ad nauseum about the Houston Texans and how bad that offensive line and how susceptible they are to playing a good defense. Baltimore isn't even fielding an average defense at this point when you allow the Houston Texans to throw 44 points up on you. An embarrassment. The high of Jackson Dart in New York with the Giants went down a little bit. Look, it wasn't the worst game possible. It definitely was a rookie game. And there was, obviously his own little fumble there in the game. Like, not some good things, but things that there's still positivity, things to build on. And you are without your number one offensive player, Emily Neighbors. That all has to be factored in. But you did lose to one of the worst teams in the NFL. So that is a tough loss there for the Giants, and one that both of us had, at least, you had the points there, but both of us had hedged incorrectly. Carolina Panthers, Rico fucking Dowdle. Good God. Mike McDaniels, that's fireable alone. If you say, oh, we're going to go put out a backup running back, his first name's Rico, and he's going to put up over 200 rushing yards on your ass. That's a tough scene, but we'll obviously get into.
We're going to talk about Mike quite a bit, I think.
Oh yeah. Look, Indiana Jones and the Raiders lost. Not their lost arc, just the Raiders lost, because in this one, fucking Indy took it to the Raiders. Gino, there's serious issues there about the Raiders, Gino, the whole fucking thing. Denver and Philly. Denver beats Philadelphia. They were coming from behind and were able to get that win versus the Super Bowl champs from last year, knocked down one of the undefeated. It's a great game from Denver. Dallas and the Jets. Dallas obviously shows that they got some offensive power, and now it's the vibes are that were possibly there from the Jets almost beating the Bucs are completely gone, I think.
Yeah, I think everything is gone about that. There's no.
It is sad season.
No feel goods.
Yep. Tennessee, Arizona. I think
this is the worst fucking loss I have ever seen in my life.
It was great talking to Spicy Mike Aarons about this game. He was like, three of the most ridiculous things that you would ever see happen in a football game all culminated in this game and led to this loss.
And they all went against the same fucking team.
Yeah, it was insane. Seattle and Tampa Bay, easily the best game of the week. One of the best games of the year, honestly, if you like offensive output, because it was just phenomenal from the former Carolina Panther quarterback committee of Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. Washington and the Chargers. That Chargers offensive line. The Chargers offensive line is decimated. Look, we'll get into that game, but obviously that was a tough one there for the Chargers. Detroit and Cincinnati, despite the 5 tackles, I believe it was, from Jamar Chase, they still couldn't hold down the Detroit Lions. And we'll get more into why that's happening in a little bit. New England and Buffalo for Sunday Night Football. New England comes up with that fucking moxie and fire and gets themselves a win behind Stephon Diggs and his nudity-ridden Instagram stories after the game. And Kansas City and Jacksonville. Jacksonville last night on one of the final plays of the game. Trevor Lawrence does a double trip and fall after being stepped on, but somehow still gets up and eludes Chris Jones, who is standing there.
Scratching his balls.
Kansas City is taking down Jacksonville, gets the win. Look, this is the NFL that we're in right now in the AFC. We got Indianapolis 4-1, Jacksonville 4-1. We got a wild shakeup happening. Parity, baby. It's what we always ask for, right? But look, Mike, I don't want to sit here and look at this red too long. Let's go ahead and get into the motherfucking games. You're at 51%. I'm at 57%. First time I've dropped below that 60% mark for the year. It hurts. It stings, but we are going to do better. And I feel a lot better about this week.
I feel like we're going to do a little bit better this week. I have high hopes. I had high hopes for a lot of things this last week. I had actually a pretty fucking good betting weekend. I sent you a video. I don't put out everything that I do all the time. It's just, I do a lot of gambling, people. it's a little obnoxious. And I had what I would call a banger fucking weekend on Saturday. Now Sunday I pulled back a little bit because you saw what happened with the picks. Okay.
Yeah.
But Saturday, man, I hit college games, I hit parlays, I hit overs, I hit a fucking UFC parlay. Like I could not miss on Saturday. Sunday was tough though, man.
Sunday was tough.
It started off really tough because my Browns fucking take an L over in London at Tottenham Hotspurs. You guys come out on top 21-17. This game was interesting, to say the least. The Browns offense was more efficient, but we still don't score enough points. I want to hear your perspective before I freak the fuck out on Kevin Stefanski and explain why he should be fired or should have already been fired. But I want to know what you saw from your perspective, because the Browns were in this game for a long ass time.
Yeah. It was definitely tough to watch because as far as my feeling of the game was that we were losing this game, that you guys had the recipe to basically attrit us, to beat us without having to put up some gaudy numbers or something like that, especially through the pass game. It's Dylan Gabriel's first game. Again, walking into this game, you know that the Minnesota Vikings are extremely depleted on their offensive line. You know that their run defense has been atrocious this year, and you are starting a rookie quarterback. The recipe to success was there. It was started. You got all the ingredients into the cake pan, and then you said, fuck the oven. I'm going to use the sun to bake this. And it didn't fucking work because you didn't run the ball like you should have in the second half. Quinshon Judkins was tearing our ass up.
Listen, he had a lot of carries, but he is also a guy that has not had a fuckload of carries in his career. So if he has a little extra, I think he'll be okay.
Yeah, there should have been no thought about any sort of a pitch count with him. Like, he had multiple big-time gashes on us that those were there in the second half. They were there. You have Dylan Gabriel, who I'm interested to get your thoughts on it because I have thoughts on his performance as well. In some respects, it is your first NFL game starting overseas against a pretty insane defense from Brian Flores.
Yeah.
But the accuracy issues, especially when throwing passes seemingly greater than 10 yards, were a little bit scary to me. And hopefully those are like first game jitters or something like that. But when you actually developed plays that are quick game, short passes, things like that, they were relatively effective. And so not leaning into that, that's a question mark to me. And I just don't think that you guys brought enough pressure against this offensive line. Carson Wentz had, I believe, the eighth quickest snap to throw rate in the league, which, obviously good. But if you just sent 5 rushers every time, yeah, that keeps your secondary in a more precarious spot. But I think you're winning a majority of those pass rushes. And to basically limit Myles Garrett, one of the best defenders in the NFL ever, the way that the Vikings did, through a lot of chipping with tight ends and whatnot, but still to limit him like that, it seems like you guys didn't lean into your recipe for success. Now, there is absolutely a huge conversation to be had with time and clock management at the end, but I feel like we wouldn't have been in that spot had your coaches ran the correct type of scheme and play call against our team that you should have. That being said, I'm very happy with the performance that Carson Wentz had. I'm unbelievably happy with the performance that our offensive line had. Again, Christian Darrisaw was out there for a majority of the game, but they pulled him due to snap count, apparently, to continue resting that torn ACL, MCL that he's coming back from. You have an undrafted free agent rookie starting at left guard for the first time. You have a guy snapping the ball who has never done it in his professional or collegiate career, who actually did a pretty fucking solid job. Didn't have any missed snaps or anything like that. Willie Spud Fries did okay at right guard. And then at right tackle, you have Justin School there originally, but then you have to rotate School to left tackle because Darrisaw is coming out. and you're having to put Walter Rouse back out there. So you have a line essentially of one starter, one expected starter, and guys who are playing their first NFL game ever or playing in a position that they've never played fucking before. And these guys actually did a very solid job of keeping Carson Wentz upright. They actually allowed the Vikings to have a run game against your guys' incredible run defense. I'm ecstatic with how that offense, especially the offensive line, performed, because that's not something that you should be able to do against basically the league's number one defense. Defensively, of course, I am worried about the run game, but they tightened up towards the end. And despite a kick potentially going awry because of some guy wires and everything like that, we were able to have a long, I believe, 77-yard drive at the end of the game to get Jordan Addison into the end zone, despite also being internally suspended for the first quarter for missing a practice. But the rumor is he made his way out into London town. The team was practicing over an hour away from downtown London, and he decided to miss a practice to go and probably get some fucking trim in downtown London. Which, you know, given his past history, what the fuck, dude? Come on, like be better. But look, I'm happy with the win. I said I felt like it was a must-win game for this Vikings team if we wanted to have any hope going into the future past the bye. I'm glad we got it. It feels like we got a little bit lucky, along with reaching peak expectations of some subpar units right now. And it feels almost more like a Browns failure than a Vikings loss at this point. I know I'm not saying that to pile on, but I mean, we talked about it after the game. Like, it felt like you guys had the recipe, man. And it felt like you kind of went away from it and didn't focus on the spots that the Browns should have. And I really, really wish I had saved the video of that I had of Kevin Stefanski cut-ups, where it's just constantly, consistently, and I believe it's on my X, of him going, it's my fault. It's my bad. I got to do better. And it was like a minute and a half of him doing that over his tenure there as a Browns coach. And at one point in time, does someone listen to that?
Now is when the fucking time would be for that, because he needs to be fired. Like, you go back and we watched the game, obviously, talked about it the entire time. It felt like we were beating you, but we didn't have any points. We still have yet to score 20 points. And this has gone on for a long fucking time. How about that? I might pull up sleeves and ask him here in a minute. How long it's been since the Browns have scored 20 points. But Kevin Stefanski is an offensive head coach. And we're not fucking putting together an offense that is adequate of doing, like, winning games. We have to have our defense win us games. Our offense cannot win us a game right now. Plain and simple. Now, Dylan didn't play bad, but, I mean, he didn't play great. There were some shots that he missed, for sure. But he also threw 2 touchdowns. He got rid of the ball. He missed some shots, though. That would have been huge to get. Quinshawn was running the ball like a fucking monster. I am tired of watching Jerome Ford in the backfield. He is not capable. I give any of the other people an opportunity to run the ball before Jerome Ford. Like, anybody else, I don't give a fuck. Stop putting him in the backfield. We were moving the ball. The tight ends, both of our tight ends were involved in the whole game plan. Everything is working exactly the way Kevin Stefanski's offense is supposed to go. But we don't score any fucking points. Well, that's probably because it's Kevin's fucking fault. I don't know what is happening and why they can't figure it the fuck out, but they are penalized to shit again this week. 10 penalties. Like, we were right there with you. We basically played the same game, but we had no turnovers. We went +2 in turnovers. And we fucking lost. A rookie quarterback doesn't turn the ball over. Our rookie running back goes over 100 yards. And we fucking lose.
And the rookie quarterback throws for 2 touchdowns.
Like, Kevin's got to go. This is his fault. This is not working anymore. I love the idea, the scheme that he runs. But there are other motherfuckers in the league that run this. Go get somebody from the Shanahan tree. Go get somebody from the KOC tree. Go from the McVay tree. They all run fairly similar fucking style shit. Like this has gone on for entirely too long. I'm super excited with our rookie class. I can't wait to see what the next regime brings in their rookie class, because both of these assholes should be fired.
Both being Stefanski.
Andrew Berry's got to go too. I understand maybe this will buy him a reprieve because the draft was so good, but they have been tied at the hip. Their contracts have come in lockstep. I would have a hard time seeing them fire one without firing the other.
I question your thoughts on Jim Schwartz in this one, because I lay some of the issue at his foot as well. Look, like I said, Myles Garrett is a game wrecker, a game breaker. We have seen this in the past with your team where he can single-handedly shut down an offense. He can create turnovers. And for him to really not do a whole lot this game,
first time that
I feel like it was a misutilization. Like the Vikings obviously scripted things up knowing where Myles was. They chipped him more than he's been chipped basically his entire career. He doesn't have to stay in one spot is my thought process.
I know. I've seen him literally cross over a center and then get a fucking sack. You can put him anywhere on the football field.
If you're looking at an offensive line that, again, has a plethora of first-timers, backups, things like that, twists are your best friend. I didn't really see the twist game. I didn't see like him go out there and, all of a sudden they put the tight end on my side. Flip me in as a D tackle or something like that, because Myles Garrett is probably better than most D tackles. Also, it completely fucks the offense's mindset up of, wait, what do we do now to block this guy?
Yeah, because a guard cannot block Myles Garrett. I don't give a fuck what guard it is.
Yeah, it felt like a misuse of him. And again, the weakness that the Vikings went into the game with, which everybody knew. You guys had all week to prepare for that. And I felt like there could have been a mild amount of creativity to utilize Myles Garrett, knowing that we are probably going to double, triple him, chip him. And that's how you can create insane mismatches elsewhere. And it just didn't feel like that was really the case. So that's a
whole coaching staff. Yeah, the whole coaching staff's got to go. Because here's the thing. Kevin runs the show, right? Or he's supposed to run the show. We found out from Jason Lloyd's article that he doesn't necessarily run the show unless it's convenient for him, because he didn't want to coach his fucking quarterback, who, by the way, needed a shitload of coaching. And now we have him. They are notorious for not making adjustments. This is not the first time Myles Garrett has been pissed off about no adjustments being made by fucking Jim Schwartz. So, this whole group can go. Like, we have a shitload of talent. We just re-signed Myles. We got a couple of rookie quarterbacks that we're going to find out if they can play or not, because we moved Joe Flacco today too, which we haven't even fucking got to yet. So there is a lot of young talents. Please stop wasting it with Kevin fucking Stefanski. This is a guy I have liked, but it is over. The run is over. He is not the guy for Cleveland anymore.
I feel a little bit like just a tiny injection of creativity on that offense would do a wonder for it. You could be a very run focused offense with just a sprinkle of creativity here and there. And you would,
it is literally just line up man on man. Well, it's a zone scheme, but literally it's like man on man. It's just our guys go against their guys. No disguise, no nothing.
And if you continue to focus on running the ball like you guys have the obvious capability to do, that supports your defense, which is pretty good. But look, I know Amber is probably having a conniption right now because we are 30 minutes into the show and we spent a hell of a lot of time on our Sunday early morning game out there in Europe. But we do have to obviously talk a little bit about Joe Flacco going. Obviously, you felt like he was probably going to be the starter for the year. You've called for him to be benched and the rookies to get in, which has happened. And now Joe is on his way to a division rival in Cincinnati, who needs a quarterback, but it almost seems a little bit like elder abuse playing him behind this offensive line.
I hope it's not. I hope for your sake that the funniest thing in the world happens and Joe Flacco beats the Packers twice this year.
That would
be fucking hilarious.
And I would love it. It would be great. I don't know if the plan would be to play Joe right away because obviously it's tough to kind of just insert a guy into his system.
Joe Flacco, dude. He's just going to be like, oh, what do we do? I got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Fuck, they're down there somewhere.
Yeah, and look, we did see a little bit of that in that Bengals game, but obviously we'll get to that later. I'm curious. So you think that Dylan had an okay game? He missed some stuff. What I consistently kind of saw was it looked like he had difficulty layering passes that were a little bit deeper down the field than the real short game, that 3 to 5 yard.
I think it's his vision.
Vision being so short.
Yes, I don't.
He can't see over.
He didn't work lanes very. And from what I saw, like when he missed high. So he's trying to think over the lineman and is having a hard time fucking layering it. If he would find the window in between his guys, he'd have a much easier time. That's what shorter quarterbacks got to do. You got to find those windows. And he didn't necessarily do a great job of that. And that's why I think some of his balls sailed high.
And I don't know if this is a thing with the Stefanski style offense necessarily, but we see this again with shorter quarterbacks where guys like Kyler tend to have their magic rolling outside of the pocket on plays for them that are traditionally more broken where he has to move. But all of a sudden your vision clears up because you don't have 6'5", 330-pound dudes in front of you when you are listed at 6 foot. Let's be fucking real. That dude might be 5'9" and a quarter. You got to move this guy. And I don't know. Again, I'd have to look back at draft notes here. I don't know how good Dylan Gabriel is at throwing on the run or, off platform.
He's got mobility. Now, is not necessarily a guy that you think is going to go out there and win you a game. He's not a guy that you see, make huge throws on the run. He just does. His arm is good. It's not something that you've ever really seen a lot of. I mean, you've seen a couple of it. I mean, he got fucking drafted for a reason.
Well, that's part of it. Part of me saying that I think that you need to sprinkle in just a little creativity to get that pocket moving. Get the pocket moving, get him out of the pocket on boots, things like that. It'll start to create a little bit more opportunity. I think that it would obviously help with the literal physical limitations that he has and he cannot fix because of his height. And so either way, like I would assume, you are going into the bye week this week as well, correct?
No, Steelers week, baby. Steelers week.
Yeah, well, that'll be a fun one. But you're obviously going to probably roll with him going forward. Shadur is now the primary backup, and you've got that third string option in Deshaun Watson if they ever decide to activate him.
At some point, I think they're going to have to. He's going to get healthy. At least he will get cleared by a doctor at some point this year, I'm almost certain. The money's already on the books, but they can get insurance money for however much he missed. I'm pretty sure. So we'll see what happens with that. Look, listen, I don't care because when fucking Stefanski gets fired, if Deshaun's anywhere around the team, I'm pretty sure Haslam is going to fire fucking Andrew Berry as well. And they're just going to take care of that problem all in one fell swoop and say, fuck it, we're starting over.
Yeah. Hey.
Anyways, Joe Flacco to the Bengals.
Yeah, and look, I think we could talk a little bit more about Flacco when we get to that Bengals game because there's not a ton else to talk there. That was an awful one. But the Steelers are one in the AFC North. Have they already sold and got their ticket straight to the playoffs?
No.
Oh. The Ravens don't look very imposing. Cincinnati doesn't look like they can fucking play any sort of defense.
Yeah, maybe.
You guys are you guys.
Yeah, maybe they are.
Look, the Steelers, despite them beating my Vikings, almost losing, but beating my Vikings 2 weeks ago, they don't look like that imposing of a team, but I think that they almost look like the most complete team right now.
I had the Browns getting in with a losing record as the 7th team in the playoffs. It is entirely possible that there will be in my opinion, a team that is under 500 out of the AFC that makes the playoffs. It could come from the fucking AFC North, just the division winner.
Yeah, very possible. All right, look, we will go ahead and move on. Our next game that we're going to talk about here, the Vegas Raiders versus the Indianapolis Colts. And everything is going wrong there for the Raiders, and the Colts look damn good again. Colts are a good team, man. They're a good team. They're not one to bet against too often. Daniel Jones still looking fantastic. Jonathan Taylor got to be looked at as an offensive player of the year, the type of season that he's putting up. And Tyler fucking Warren, he is the shit at tight end.
He is.
He's so well utilized. Receiver, runner, passer, and lead blocker. He's doing everything. He is everything that you would want from Taysom Hill, except good at football. He's pretty fucking good at football. And he's got great hair.
He does have a little bit of lettuce. Everything is going wrong for Geno Smith. It was a terrible decision for them to bring in Geno. And here's the thing: hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, I don't know how anyone saw this coming.
Right. When you hear that phrase, hindsight's 2020, right? It's like, oh, you didn't know. You're absolutely right. But at this point, we can fucking see, because hindsight is 2020, that this was an absolute mistake to bring in Geno. That he is, I don't know what is going on, but he is completely out of rhythm with that offense. He does not look like he has any understanding of what the concepts of the offense are, where the ball is supposed to be going. He doesn't have any of the answers to the fucking test.
Yeah, it's a rough spot to be in. Again, I don't blame the team for moving to get Pete Carroll. I don't blame them for moving to get Geno Smith. It looked like a surefire upgrade, but man, is this imploding. I think that the defensive system doesn't work for Max Crosby. I don't think that they are utilizing their receiving game as well as they should be. It doesn't help that you got your top two tight ends down. And then to see Geno have a insane regression back to what he originally was with the Jets. This is the point in the season where you have to start to look at just seeing what you got on the roster, make some changes. It's got to be Geno sitting. You're playing offensive linemen out of position. It's a tough spot to be in. And I think I had brought it up a week or so ago. Could this be a one and done for Pete Carroll out here? And I think that the answer very possibly could be yes. How long is Tom Brady and this Raiders organization sit and wait for a coach to figure it out? I think Carroll will get the whole year, but they're going to have some serious questions at the end of the year of, do we want to go ahead and pull shoot and start going after someone else?
Well, it was Pete's decision to bring in Geno, and that is going to tie directly into this, because you can guarantee that Tom is not bringing Geno back next year unless he absolutely flips around and goes crazy for the rest of the season. But he's shown nothing to think that that's going to happen.
Yeah. All right, next up, New York Giants go into New Orleans versus the Saints. Saints get their first win of the year, 26-14. Spencer Rattler has another pedestrian but pretty darn good day at quarterback. You didn't see the same sort of energy and moxie from Jackson Dart and crew, but mainly that's because they had a lot of self-imposed issues in this game, particularly the fumble from Jackson Dart, and that defense got slippery at times for the Giants and allowed a very large reception by Rashid Shaheed. Obviously, the Giants have their issues and problems. I still think that it's a good move that they moved to Jackson Dart, and I don't think they need to move away from that. But again, you are talking about a team where your number one offensive weapon just went down. They were riding that energy high from the previous week, and they probably need to find the good balance between letting Jackson Dart kind of run freely and do crazy shit and reining him in a little bit where you get to see a little bit of the magic, but you still are operating within a relatively normal scheme.
Well, the loss of Malik Neighbors is going to be a huge detriment to Jackson Dart in his progression this year. Not having that really kind of is going to change what they're going to try to do on offense. They had a pretty nice group of weapons with him as your solid number one receiver. Without that, they're going to have to get creative. And if you don't put him in like safe positions, Jackson Dart's going to sling that bitch in the spots where he should not sling it into. It's like very classic Josh Allen type shit too. Daboll had to try to coach that out of him. So he's going to have to try to pull those reins back a little bit as well. I agree with you. Find that rhythm, find that balance of how to get it done. And brother, you said it. Spencer Rattler, the dude's playing like he's a starter in the NFL right now. Not a high-level starter, but he right now is playing like a starter in the NFL. So
week-to-week consistency is better than Bryce Young. So that's good. That's a positive.
Well, I mean, he's been better than a lot of people that have played every week so far.
That's true. It's fair. And it's a fair conversation that we're going to probably have to continue having as the season continues going forward. Is the Saints team is abysmal, but maybe it isn't all the fact that Spencer Rattler is a less than quarterback. Maybe he is an okay quarterback and you just have a pretty terrible squad around him. Next up, Dallas Cowboys, New York Jets. Jets take another loss. They go to 0-5. The score looks closer than it actually was, 37-22. Another big day from Dak Prescott and that Cowboys offense. A lot of scoring from that offense. They're going to be one of these teams that, unless they play a team that has an offense that can actually compete against them, we know that the Cowboys can put up points. Can the defense keep with it? This is what the Cincinnati Bengals had hoped to be, because they have a quarterback. Maybe the Bengals have a quarterback now. Probably not Dak Prescott, but it's good enough of a win for Jerry to give the old double bird and get a $250,000 fine. And he needs to ride whatever wins he can get right now, because while they are 2-2-1, I think that you might end the year with that same sort of a record.
They're gonna be 500.
Yeah,
they're gonna be fucking 500.
Equal lefts and rights.
That's right.
That sort of situation.
The double. So listen, man. We asked Sleeves on the last episode, hey, when has Justin Fields ever beaten a team when they've scored more than 20 points? That holds true. If the team that Justin Fields is playing scores more than 20 points, he does not beat them. And the Cowboys scored a shitload more. Dak played great. And listen, Javonte Williams is having a fucking absolutely resurgent year. I am so glad that I drafted him in fantasy football in I think 2 leagues. He's been spectacular. I
want to say something about Javonte Williams.
Yeah.
I think that he's been this guy. He's had some injuries, but also he ended up playing on a Sean Payton team, and Sean Payton just did not seem to favor him. He wasn't one of Sean Payton's guys. And you saw them mix in a heavy platoon system in Denver when Javonte Williams was there. And when Javonte Williams left, you're seeing what he had the potential to be, which is a running back that can carry the ball 16 times and get 135 yards. He's a good back in this league, I think, when he's given the reins.
I agree. I absolutely agree. And the Cowboys have been dying to find a running game since Ezekiel Elliott ate himself.
Yeah. All right, next up, Broncos and the Eagles. Our first number one team that we're going to talk about, a team taking a loss for the first time, one of our last unbeatens. Broncos take down the Eagles 21-17. They finally let Jalen Hurts throw 38 times. What people have been begging for. Open the offense up. Get something going. And they lose. and he has an atrocious overthrow of A.J. Brown. Brown got more targets for sure. But I still don't think he was happy at the end of this game. And none of them should be, because when you're only running one of the best running backs in the league 6 times in the second half, you're getting away from a game script that obviously works for you. Excuse me, not 6 times in the second half.
I was going to say not second half. That's the whole fucking game.
The whole fucking game. 30 yards for Saquon Barkley. Look, the Eagles, we've talked about it. They just kind of do what they need to do to win the game. But I feel like they might have switched things up to cater to some of the voices out there, because they had a lot of strong opinionated alphas on this team. But you maybe you should just stick to what you do best, and that doing that wins you games. The Eagles have looked and do still look susceptible, and the Broncos were able to take advantage of that. They had to come from behind to win this game, but they were steady Eddie. That's the Sean Payton team. They're going to keep giving you their all throughout the entire game, and it got them to the point where they were able to get the dub in this one.
Yeah. The fact that Saquon Barkley only got 6 carries is fucking absurd. 11 runs total as a team is fucking absurd. Now, we talked about it on Saturday. They can only do whatever Jalen Hurts is going to do. Right? Like, I went with Denver in this one. So this worked out for me. But everything is dependent on Jalen Hurts. He throws it 38 times. They completely forget everything else. They lose the game. When they added some other people in, Jalen is good. He is adequate to distribute the ball kind of where it's needed, even though AJ Brown is like a fucking ghost. And they can squeak by. Like, when does this shit all come together? Because it hasn't happened in quite some time. I mean, the last time it was the Super Bowl ish.
I mean, they put up a shitload of points in the Super Bowl. It only looked as close as it did because of garbage time points there. Maybe this is heresy, but I know there's been a lot of talks about is Jalen Hurts like an elite quarterback or not. I think part of it is that he's not a clutch quarterback. I mean, we saw a couple Super Bowls ago where they lost, and he definitely wasn't clutch. He didn't look like he had the arm strength to complete these passes. And while his passing definitely looked better in this last game, it still just didn't look like he has that clutch gene to make things happen, despite having absolute fantastic players around him. And AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, Dallas Goedert, Saquon Barkley. You've got a lot of fantastic pieces around you, and it just seems like he didn't have that clutch gene. Some people have it, some people don't.
And question the offensive coordinator in this as well. I mean, 11 fucking runs as a team that is malpractice as an offensive coordinator when you have fucking Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, you're not even testing whether or not you can run against this really good Denver Broncos defense when you only run it 6 times. Like, if we only made 6 attempts at something, we would never figure shit out. If we only decided to try to go to the moon 6 times and fucking gave up, like, it wouldn't fucking happen. You've got the fucking rocket ship in Saquon. You know how fucking good he is. And you know that you've got a pretty goddamn solid offensive line and a good scheme for it. You need to just lean into it. Even when it feels like it's hurting and not working well, it will work because Saquon is that guy. And they need to find a better balance there. Like, obviously, you've got some players that are upset. And look, if AJ Brown is going to continue to be a thorn in your side and you're not going to use him, then yeah, fucking trade him. Because I still think AJ Brown is a fantastic receiver. And I think there's a lot of places that could really use that sort of talent and would pay a high premium for it.
I'll give you the Jags pick right now.
And AJ Brown will retire. But I think he probably wants to go to a contender right now. Or back to his old coach in Mike Vrabel. But more about them later. I've got an interesting question for you there. But look, Eagles, they take the L. They do look susceptible. This Broncos defense, though, is not to be looked over. The Broncos defense did fantastic in this game. We knew that they were very good. They're starting to put it together a little bit more than they did early on in the year. And Bo Nix is starting to come together a little bit better as well. Last year had early season struggles. This year, some early season struggles, starting to kind of figure it out a little bit. Good win there by the Broncos in Philadelphia.
Very good win.
All right. Next up, a fun one. Dolphins, Panthers. Panthers squeak out the win at the end. 27-24. One of the worst teams in the league goes to 2-3 now. One of the absolute worst teams in the league has a head coach who we need to take his shoelaces away, I think.
I was going to say, can we just real quick, listen, as two veterans who are part of a community where suicide has affected it so drastically. The 160,000 service members and veterans have committed suicide since 2001. We very seriously need to worry if Mike McDaniels is going to make it through this fucking season like alive, because I don't think that he even knows where he's at anymore. He's given up. Hope is dead. This was a terrible loss. Again, he can't. There's no way he's going to make it through the season. We've talked about this, in text, but it's been just one fail after another, and the press conferences do not help. It was funny when they were winning. He was aloof. It was cool. He had a personality. When you're getting your dick kicked in, it's not funny anymore.
Yeah. Look, we saw some of the genius of Mike McDaniels in his first year there with the Dolphins. I think that he's probably a pretty good coach within a very small spectrum. I think he's going to be an outstanding run or pass game coordinator on a team very soon. If it's not later this year, it'll be next year. He's a coach that I would be happy to have on my Minnesota Vikings, helping out Kevin O'Connell build in some insane shit where you see 5-6 plays a game of some brilliance. But he should not be in a position.
He doesn't want to come to Cleveland.
Yeah, he shouldn't be in a position to be a leader of men because, look, I texted this to you, and a shout out to Purple Daily and the O-line committee, some of the podcasts that I fucking love. But particularly about my Minnesota Vikings, the O-line committee does go over the entire league. It's got Jeremiah Searles, former player and now an agent, Alex Boone, former offensive lineman, and Phil Mackey, who kind of has the whole thing. And it is really awesome to listen to these guys break down things, and they start getting into the nitty-gritty football terms, which I love. And they're so exuberant about the stuff that they see. Like, it is a good watch. Jeremiah Searles, however, again, like I said, an agent, he spoke on Purple Daily yesterday, and he said that he cannot speak completely about what's going on there in Miami, but he does have a player that he represents there. He says, all I can say is Mike McDaniels is, we'll just say, an interesting dude. And a couple sentences before that, he said, this is a completely broken man. So there's obviously stuff going on behind the scenes. We know that ownership has to be very concerned with the outward look of this team, not just on the field, but in the press conferences. The players have to be completely done with this situation. We've said it before, we say it again. This is kind of the end of this regime in Miami. The players, Tyreek is out. Tua, I do not think is the guy. He's got a noodle fucking arm. He looks way closer to Russ Wilson than he does to anything else like a Kyler Murray.
Well, he's one concussion away from fucking Michael J. Fox. So
yeah. What did I say their bye week was? 12, 14,
13, I think.
Something like that. It's not 6 or 7. We know that, but it's somewhere close to 12 to 14. I believe that he'll be gone before then. I'm assuming that you agree with that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't think he makes it that far, man. Like it's gone downhill so bad, so fast.
The
media down there is going to continue to pile on.
Yeah, put the man and the team out of their misery. You have a baked in, and I also said this to you as well yesterday. You have a baked in guy as an interim head coach in Anthony Weaver, who has the sound bites. He has that kind of moxie, that kind of a little bit more of a head coach bravado to go out there and speak publicly from what I've seen this year. And then on top of it, there's the side stuff of when you are looking for a new head coach, he meets the Rooney Rule necessity, and no one will bat an eye if you decide not to select him as your head coach, because this is just a bad team. And I don't think that switching his head coach is going to buy you much more than a couple wins, maybe at best. Create a fertile situation for a high draft pick so that someone can go in there and start to build a team like they want. A disciplinarian, someone to get this thing reined in.
Down there now, though, with
Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy.
No.
Rex Ryan.
Fuck no, dude. Are you kidding me? Like, who can they possibly bring in that they're gonna want to that you're gonna want to hire as an organization? That's gonna
Mike McCarthy or Rex Ryan.
That
I think it'd be Mike McCarthy or Rex Ryan. I'm just throwing that out there now. Yeah, that's the situation that we're looking at in Miami. Things are not going good. But look, Rico fucking Dowdle. The way that he performed in Chuba Hubbard's stead, yes, the Dolphins have one of the most, if not the most atrocious run defense in the league. But Rico fucking Dowdle showed up. He did good last year in Dallas, and I was surprised that they let him go so easily. And he took his opportunity there with Chuba Hubbard out and really showed out. And now he gets to play Dallas this week, a revenge game. Who knows if Chuba's going to be ready, but you know they're going to try to feed Rico the ball a little bit because he showed that he's got some juice. So hopefully that works out again, because I picked up Rico Dowdle. I played him this fucking week in fantasy, and he got me over 30 fucking points. It was fantastic. I love it. Next up, Houston Texans, Baltimore Ravens. And the Ravens are in a bad spot. They are just about completely buried. Texans win 44-10. You got Jalen Noel, the rookie wide receiver, who's maybe their third or fourth stringer, doing the Ray Lewis dance on them. It's a bad look there. Again, Texans O-line is so bad, But that just goes to show you how bad this front seven is for the Baltimore Ravens right now. We've talked. I think that this team has a ton of talent on it, but the defense is so hurt. And without having Lamar Jackson out there, being 1-4, I don't know how they climb out of this hole. They will be scraping and fighting to try to get back into the NFC or AFC North, and probably trying to fight for a wild card by the end of the year if I had to put money on it. But man, they are in such a hole right now. It is going to be really tough to recover.
Yeah, this team is mega ass. It's insane. Like, I was expecting them to lose, but Jesus Christ, not like this. Cooper Rush was terrible, and remember we were having conversations like, Derrick Henry, is he still one of the best running backs in the league? I mean, he had great years, but he also had Lamar Jackson healthy almost the entire time. As soon as Lamar Jackson goes out, Derrick Henry can be made to look very, very average. Okay. So this team could entirely be dead. Also, the AFC North is fucking terrible, because I know that the Steelers have a current winning record. I don't think their record is good. I don't think they are as good as that record is.
Yeah. That being said, they still might be the most complete team right now, which makes them the most dangerous in the AFC North. It is a rough look there. The Ravens are going to have to put up one hell of a second half of this year to try to get back in the playoffs. It's a tough one there. Texans defense, obviously, they are very good. We've known this, and they kind of got lucky, I think, on this one with the matchup. Like, props and kudos to their offense for being able to put up 44 points. They did play an NFL team, and 44 points versus an NFL team is always a good thing for an offense. But it's still, I don't think week in and week out that this is going to be the Texans teams that we see. We know that they got some offensive weapons, but that line still scares the living fuck out of me. And unless they play a whole lot of Dolphins and Titans and things like that, I think you are still going to see a lot of struggles.
Yeah. And also, I just want to say, try to tell you guys, Nick Chubb against the Ravens, cash that shit. He's so good against the Ravens, man.
I mean, it was still a modest day. 11 carries, 61 yards.
61 yards and a ton. I mean, for Nick Chubb on 11 carries, after all the shit that has happened to his body, that's a great fucking day.
Yeah. All right, next up, Titans and Cardinals. Titans, congratulations on getting a win. I didn't think it was going to happen. I wasn't sure it was going to happen, but you got yourselves a win. God bless you. But now we have to talk about the fucking Cardinals.
How do you have the comical amount of errors, the litany of errors that have to fall in the completely right way for it to go so bad? Like, you cannot have it go any fucking worse. Like, the odds of this happening are so astronomical. I had this game on. I had to post on Twitter. I was like, what the fuck is happening? It was insane. I've never seen anything like this shit.
Yeah, you have a insane amalgamation of things that have happened. One, Call of Duty Black Ops 7 beta was out. I don't mean to pull out the old plunger, but I just want to lay the groundwork for a conversation here. You also have a former Cardinals wide receiver going on podcasts just saying, like, look, Kyler's not a leader of men, and that's why they will never be winners. Just something to think about. And then you have a shotgun snap that hits Kyler right in his fucking grape. And I love the meme out there that on any other quarterback of normal height, this would be right into his hands. And then Kyler, it's right in the fucking dome. And the meme video of it where it goes like, when it hits him in the head. Fantastic stuff. Pure comedy. God bless whoever made that. To have Cam Ward throw an interception, and for that interception to then be fumbled and turned into a touchdown. Wow. You don't get to see that every day. But then what we do get to see, apparently in a more regular fashion, is someone running in a touchdown, but dropping the ball before they cross the goal line. teams need to have serious conversations. Just like a couple weeks ago, teams need to have serious conversations with their special teams units about, hey, this is an actual play. They can block our kicks. Recognize that, and you guys need to stiffen up. And it stiffened up a little bit. People need to have a conversation with the guys who get the ball in their hand and say, when you run a ball into the end zone, do not drop it. Hand it to the referee at the end of the play, and then go celebrate. Because DeMarcado was on his way to a very long touchdown.
Yes, he was.
And at the perfectly inopportune moment, decides to drop the ball.
The very last, like you could not have made it like one.
The argument is there that it was still theoretically kind of touching his fingertips as he was.
Yeah, but we're not in control of the ball at that point.
Not in control of the ball. We just saw it last week.
So
before with Adonai Mitchell.
That still happens.
It is Bush League stuff that we're talking about here that has to be fixed. What a game. And then the cherry on the top that I think people don't talk about enough here. Joey Sly had missed 4 kicks, including a PAT. And they have to put him out there to kick the game winner, and he sure as fuck does. Good on him. Like, there was an opportunity that the Titans, despite their tremendous play and willpower in trying to come back, could have lost this game because of Joey Sly potentially having some heebie-jeebies about going out there to kick. But he goes out there and he fucking does it. Good job, Titans, in getting the win. Enjoy it. Celebrate it. Just like Callahan said in the locker room, go ahead, celebrate, turn your music up, enjoy yourselves. And we need to stack it. I don't think you will. But congratulations on the win. And the vibes have to be at an all-time low here in Arizona.
Yeah. I would like to petition the NFL on Cam Ward's behalf that this interception be changed to a touchdown in the stat books officially.
Yeah. Next up, we have what I kind of precluded as potentially easily our game of the week, I would have to say. But one of the better games this year, Buccaneers Seahawks in Seattle. This game comes down to the end. It comes from a ricocheted pass from Sam Darnold that ends up getting intercepted that kind of ended up sealing the fate there. But we have 2 quarterbacks who are looking like some of the best in the NFL.
Insane.
we got Baker Mayfield going 29 of 33, 379 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions.
Oh,
you have
my
Sam
God.
Darnold, 28 of 34, 341 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception that did come off of a helmet ricochet. Fantastic games from these quarterbacks. Fantastic games from these offenses. The defenses weren't even that terrible or anything like that. It was just an offensive shootout, a fun game to watch, especially if you're a little bit more of a passive NFL fan, because you're getting to see some crazy offense happen. I picked this game wrong. I picked Seattle to win. But at the end of the day, this was a good game. This was a good fucking game.
Yeah. So did you see Baker talking shit in the tunnel?
Absolutely.
Talking shit
Talk to me at
after
halftime.
Yeah,
Pussy.
man.
Fucking pussy.
So Baker's a dog. I'm incredibly sad that he is not the Browns quarterback, and I'm not probably ever going to get over that, and I wish him a ton of luck. However, the resurgence of guys later in their career, I mean, it's a real thing. I think your coach is right on the dot. Teams are failing young quarterbacks well before young quarterbacks are failing their teams. Now, there obviously are circumstances where that's obviously not the case. Zach Wilson failed. Okay. There are other guys that have failed and they've just failed. Rosen, another one from this same class. But Baker and fucking Darnold are showing that they are dudes. I wasn't sure if Darnold was going to be able to continue this going after he left KOC, but he's playing phenomenal. This is a great game. The one pick, that sucks, but like this is a great game shootout. Rashard White, if you had him as a handcuff in fantasy, great play this week and getting a couple of tuds. So everything about this was awesome. And this was a good game to bet if you liked same game parlays. Emeka Buka, by the way, the fucking truth.
Yeah, look, Emeka's fucking awesome. I'm super glad to have him on my fantasy team. I talked shit about Rashad White going into this game, and I stand by it. 2.9 yards per carry, but he did get the 2 touchdowns, which is obviously pretty important another 30 yards through the passing game. So obviously we talked Jerry Jones got himself a $250,000 fine for throwing up the double bird. We saw Jonathan Gannon getting into DeMercado's ass and was fined $100,000 for that being seen by people. It's all over social media right now. And then obviously we've got Baker, who, jaw jacking with the fans. Do you see him getting fined for this one? And what's the range that you think it's going to be in? Do you think it's going to be above that of what Gannon got, that $100,000? Could it be like $6,000-$7,000 more than what Gannon got? I don't know.
6-7.
Try to keep fucking throwing this in here.
No, I mean
we're hip. We're with it. Skibbity Riz or whatever.
So you're gonna have to ask me your question again because you fucked me up with Skibbity Riz.
How much of a fine do you think Baker deserves for this?
$55K.
$55K.
Yeah, like he's gonna get like
$7K.
Not 60.
Come on, yeah, you fucking killing me. Here's an alley-oop and slam it in for me. Fucking, it's all good.
No, I'm not doing the 6-7. I mean,
you just did it. You did it. And look, thank you everyone who is watching our show right now. We super appreciate it. We like to have a fun time. We have raw authenticity all throughout this show where we just do bullshit, and we're two crazy, dumb, thick, idiot vets that just like to have a fun time talking about sports and hopefully feed you guys some good bets. We'll do better, I swear to God. But please, if you like what you're watching here as we get towards the end of our show, just take a little bit of time, like, share, subscribe to our channel. Just a little bit of help. We would be ever so grateful for you guys supporting us and helping us out here on whatever social media platform that you're viewing us on. With that, we can move on to our next game. Detroit Lions, Cincinnati Bengals. Lions win 37-24. This score is a lot closer thanks to some garbage time tuds from Jamar Chase, who I thankfully sat on my bench this week because things just looked so bad there in Cincinnati. I just didn't feel like I could possibly continue trying him out there when you didn't have a quarterback. So that has now changed. When a guy is getting more tackles than some of the members on his team on defense,
crazy,
and he plays wide receiver, things are going terribly bad for an offense. But good on Jamar Chase for actually still going out there and playing ball. This Lions team, I don't think there's a lot to talk about with this game. Lions, very good. Cincinnati Bengals, very, very bad. And Jake Browning is not the answer. And now they have a new quarterback there in Joe Flacco. How big of a boost do you think Flacco is going to provide to this offense? Was it worthwhile for the Bengals to make this trade? And do you think it was dumb for the Browns to move him to a division rival?
So, in my opinion, it's going to be 6-1, half dozen the other. Jake Browning is younger and move a little bit more, but also doesn't know as much as Joe Flacco does. Joe can't move at all and is going to be behind a porous offensive line. So he's going to be throwing the ball out very quick. It's going to be a shitload of checkdowns or interceptions by Joe. He's got the ability to chuck it down the field. So, and he's got great receivers there now, too. For me, as a Browns fan, I don't give a fuck that Joe Flacco went there. He was doing terrible for us. What is he going to learn? Like, we're going to fire fucking Kevin Stefanski after this year anyways. So tell him whatever the fuck you want, Joe. I don't give a shit. It makes no difference to me. I will take an upgrade of a pick from a 6th to a 5th and get Joe Flacco off the team so I can see which one of these rookies are going to possibly be the guy, or if I have to go get another fucking guy in this next draft.
All right. Hey, producer Amber, make a note. Make a note of bringing this back up week 18. If Joe Flacco fucking torches the Browns, get this. I don't give a fuck that he went there because this could be tough.
It could be. But here's one thing.
Probably not.
I love the Lions and I love their coaching staff. Dan Campbell is kind of a dick. I mean, he's like an asshole, like my kind of asshole though. There was absolutely no reason that David Montgomery needed to throw a fucking touchdown pass against the Cincinnati Bengals. And they knew that. They're just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just rub it in. I appreciate it, but also at the same time, like, It's kind of a dick thing to do.
As long as it's not affecting my fantasy game, I really don't give a shit because this is professional football. Either fucking pony up and play the game, or if you want to bitch and cry, you can go to fucking the CFL for all I give a fuck.
Dan Campbell's just giving people fucking wet willies, and he's a bully, man.
It's I'll eat crow on this one. I thought that the Lions were going to take a step back. I thought losing their coordinators, their interior offensive line, but that week one definitely seems like a fluke, and they absolutely might be better than they were last year. Now, they did take a bunch of losses on their defensive secondary this week. Terry and Arnold going down, amongst others. We'll see how they kind of recover from that. We've seen how they've been able to play with secondary issues and injuries on the defensive side of the ball. But like right now, the Lions are probably a top 3-4 team in the NFL the way that they're playing week in and week out. So good job by them. Bengals, we will obviously there's a vested interest in watching to see how this team plays with Joe Flacco at quarterback. Next up, Washington Commanders go up against the Chargers. Commanders get the win 27-10. Bad news, Bears, on the injury front for the Chargers. Obviously, they came in hot and heavy to start the season, but the injury bug has bitten them, and now it's looking like things are kind of falling apart there. You lose one of your best defensive players, your defensive end in Mack going down with an elbow injury for a while. Both starting tackles are out currently. Alt will come back, but both of them are down. You see a litany of other injuries along that offensive line. Mekhi Becton, I don't know if it's just because he's fucking fat or if he's actually got some injury issues going on, but he gets pulled out of every single game for what looks to be injury issues, but he just looks like he's on the sidelines, tired as shit. And I get it, man. He's like 6'8", almost 400 pounds. Like, it's got to be tough playing a professional sport out there. But
fuck
still,
yeah, dude. Moving that much weight around is no joke.
That's a problem. And then Omarion Hampton looks like the real deal at running back. He's really starting to come on. But oh wait, he's on 4-week IR now, short-term IR with an injury. You were having to go to Haskins at running back, and my guy Kamani Vidal, who's also going to be getting a little bit more work there. But still, that offensive line going through it right now. The running game is going to be hurt. And one of the biggest question marks I've had was on that defense. Were they going to be able to maintain a pass rush with those guys going down? They did make a trade today with the Ravens, a Harbaugh trade to get a new pass rusher in there in Owe, I believe. Hopefully that provides them a little bit of help. But look, this Chargers team I still think is good. I still think they're feisty, but now they are hurting in some areas that they really needed to be successful this year. You're seeing Justin Herbert not have the same sort of shine that he did. Some more Lad McConkey drops. And the Commanders get Jaden Daniels back, and it provides them a pretty significant boost there. A good day from JCM. Bill gets himself over 100 yards rushing and 2 tuds. Good day for him. Good game back for Jaden Daniels.
Man, Bill is going to be a great stash if you had him in fantasy, which I do in one of my leagues, because he's basically the only back that got left there at this point due to injuries. Jaden Daniels is a dog, but this Chargers team was supposed to be really good. And I think that they have a chance to be really good if they find a way to patch some of the injuries. Some of these guys they will get back, but man, they are going through it right now. Commanders get healthy, they get a win. Chargers hurt, they get a loss. I mean, it's pretty simple fucking math here.
Yeah. All right, next up we have the Patriots and the Bills, our Sunday night football game. Patriots, a lot of moxie. Go out there. Drake May looks like the real deal. He gets the win 23-20. Again, Stephon Diggs on Instagram live in the locker room afterwards. You got white dudes walking with their dicks out, and he's just fucking dancing, loving it, talking about his maturity and how it's helped him be a mentor for players on that team and everything. Goes out there and has a fantastic day. I bet the Bills wish that he had that sort of energy when he played for them and not just the pouting. But look, knocking up Cardi B does wonders for him, man. So Patriots go there, get the fucking dub. Obviously, we didn't have this one. It was one of the L's on our card, Mike.
Yeah.
But it was also a fun game to watch, and it makes you feel a little bit better about that Patriots team. I don't have any questions about the Bills team. It almost looked like they went in there really lackluster, and I think that this is something that their head coach is going to go and get them fucking right. They're still one of the best teams in the NFL. But this means a hell of a lot to this Patriots team.
Yeah, so this is huge for the Patriots team. It's huge for Drake May, because here's the thing. He didn't throw any touchdowns. but god damn it, did he influence the hell out of this game. I mean, multiple times he should be going down. He gets out of the pocket. I mean, in the one, the dude's hanging off his fucking chest. Amber was literally asking me, like, hey, so is he gonna be like the next Tom Brady? He does that fucking play. It's like, I mean, yeah, he's pretty goddamn good. The dude is the truth. I don't like their offense at all, really, but Drake May is the truth. He needs more weapons, or they need to find a way to utilize the weapons. And the weapons that he does have need to stop giving the ball to the other team.
And look, we might see a little bit of injection of offense here. Antonio Gibson goes down for the year, which paves more of a path for Trevion Henderson to be out there getting the ball more. Obviously, we saw a lot from him in the preseason. I think that he's got a lot of juice to him and could provide some offensive benefit there. But look, as fans, AFC East fans, football fans in general, just consider this sort of matchup, especially as this Patriots team gets better. We are going to get to see for the next decade Drake May versus Josh Allen type matchups. And that is going to be very fun to watch. That's good for the sport. It's good for the brand. It's going to be fun for football. Now, here's my interesting question to you, Mike, without pulling this up. Right now, the Patriots are 3-2.
Mm-hmm.
You think they get to 12 wins?
12? Fuck no.
That's possible. How about 11? That's one less than 12.
I'm aware. No, 10. They can get to 10, maybe.
All right, let's run through this. They are 3-2 right now.
Okay.
Saints, next game.
Yeah, win.
All right. Titans.
Fuck yeah, that's a win.
Your Browns.
That's probably a win. Yeah, let's be honest.
Falcons.
Well, I fucking hate the Falcons, so 4.
4. All right. Buccaneers. Loss.
No, listen.
All right. Jets.
That'd be the Jets. That's 5.
That's a fucking 5. Bengals.
Fuck, that's 6, yeah.
Giants.
Jesus Christ, their schedule is soft as shit.
All right. Bills at New England.
Nah, they're not going to beat the Bills twice.
I agree. Ravens, with where they're at right now.
So, yes, but I don't know where the Ravens are going to be at this point in the season.
All right. So we'll call that 7-8. Not 6-7, but 7-8. All right. Finish off the year, last 2 games. Jets, again.
Fucking Christ.
And the Dolphins.
Dude, yeah, they're gonna make the fucking playoffs.
All right. How many fingers did you have up there?
I had fucking 10. I had 10 fingers.
And they already have 3 wins, Mike.
Jesus Christ. So the Falcons.
Conservatively, let's say you're wrong. You take away that Falcons game and they're gonna lose another one. They're at 11 wins, man. Vrabel might take this team and get them to 11 wins. And we're not even at the trade deadline. And this is a team that has the money and capital to go out there and make fucking moves. Yeah. They could go out there and make a trade for a Hendrickson on a team that doesn't have a whole lot of hope right now. That doesn't spell great things for their long-term future, but near-term, absolutely. A.J. Brown is a Vrabel guy, and he's looking to be traded.
Yeah.
You might be able to go out there and get him. Yeah. They could add 2 huge pieces to this team before the trade deadline, and they're already looking at a very doable schedule to get them to double-digit wins. Don't sleep on this fucking Patriots team. They're going to ride this fucking high. And next week, 2 weeks from now, Braves is going to go versus that Titans team and absolutely smear his dick all over their fucking face. They are about to have a lot of vibe after this game. And they've got a schedule that is fertile to get them to double-digit wins. I'm saying.
I'm not sure good enough excuse to use the word fertile, but
Oh, he's gonna lay some seed. Let me tell you what, dude. I was surprised when I looked at this. I was like, "Fuck my ass." This Patriots team might be a playoff team, my dude.
Oh man, this chair is starting to go. Every time. So if I it's not staying all the way in, but yeah, that's crazy. I had no idea that their schedule was that fucking soft.
Yeah. We got We got to watch this one as it goes forward. All right, last game, our game from last night, Monday Night Football, Chiefs, Jaguars, and the Jaguars get the win. The Chiefs, Travis Kelce complaining about the refs and officiating. And you know what? I'll kind of agree. I thought the officiating was trash in this game for both sides, honestly. But it's always fun when a team that people like to say is getting all the calls their way, they start complaining that the refs aren't doing them the favors that they're used to. It sucks when that happens, doesn't it? But anyways, Trevor Lawrence goes out there, last play of the game on offense for him, gets stepped on by his own guy near the goal line, goes down, and they're like, fuck. This could nearly be it. And then he gets up a little bit and falls over again, gets up again, and is able to run in what looked to me to be the slowest rushing touchdown of all time. And you've got Chris Jones sitting there scratching his fucking nuts, watching it happen. Man, the Chiefs are back. I think I said last week after saying that they were done. I don't fucking know.
Where we at? Where are we going?
I'm fucking lost, man. But hey, this Jags team is 4-1 right now, 3-0 at home. I've said I think their defense is better than people give them credit for. They were able to hold this Chiefs team to 28 points, which is still a significant amount of points, but they had what it took to get the win. It took some calls going their way. It took a 99-yard interception return by linebacker Devin Lloyd.
That was the game changer right there. I mean, that's a fucking 14-point swing because they're going into the end zone. If he doesn't pick that, I mean, that's a touchdown. Yeah. So that's a huge play. That's where the entire game changed.
Yeah. Congratulations to the Jaguars. I'm still not sold on them where their record is, but credit to them for being 4-1 at this point. And look, Liam Cohen's got a Duval or whatever the fuck he wants to do.
Dude, why has he got to be the weirdest fucking person that's ever said Duval? Like,
look, their offensive coordinator, Grant Udinsky, came from the Vikings. I'm just saying it. Maybe that's where a little bit of this comes from. I don't know. Just something. Look, Chiefs take an L there. They go to 2-3. Last week we talked about them being buried if they went, took a loss last week versus the Ravens. It's still not a good spot for them to be in. There's a lot of question marks with this Chiefs team and how they're going to perform. When you have Patrick Mahomes, anything's possible, I guess. And when you have a tight end whose future wife likes to sing fucking trash music that she wrote lyrics at his reading level and talks about his penis all the time, this is possibly the type of experience that you're
you gotta take shots at Taylor like that, bro.
Look, objectively, come on, Swifties, that was the worst album ever. It was so bad, it was comical. And that Wood song, okay, your man's got a big old pee-pee, we get it.
I mean, I would
not her brand of music, you know. She went a little bit too Megan Thee Stallion.
Listen, I don't know what anything. I've heard the story, the things that, like, apparently she's writing a song about Travis having a big old dick, but then I thought it's
called Wood.
I thought she had the big dick in one of the songs.
I don't know,
man. I don't fucking know either.
Listen,
I like Taylor Swift. If she's got a big dick, if Travis has got a big dick, good for both of them.
Yeah, well, objectively, I'm sorry, Swifties. It looks like she chat GPT'd her fucking lyrics and said, wait, these are too good of lyrics. Dude, too big words. Big word small. Yeah.
So bad.
Your husband Travis needs small word. Oh man. Anyways, good job, Jags. You get the win. And that is our week 5 wrap up. But of course, we still have one more game to talk about. We got our Thursday night game. Where are we at here on the FanDuel Sportsbook? Philadelphia Eagles going into New York versus Jackson Dart and the Giants. As of right now, this moment, October 7th. The Eagles are still the favorites. Minus 7.5 points. More than a touchdown spread here going into New York. Over under of 40.5. Mike, what are your thoughts on this game?
Gosh. So I don't like this Eagles team. I talked about it. I'll talk about it ad nauseum some more. They're only going to end up doing whatever happens with Jalen Hurts. But we're talking about the Giants. This is always going to be a Saquon Barkley get back game. Every time they go up against the Giants, Saquon Barkley is going to probably have a monster game. That being said, I don't trust this Eagles team, especially to cover over a touchdown. So I don't love betting this game because I don't think, 40 and a half, who knows what Eagles team is going to show up? Is it going to be the one that scores 40 points? Or is it going to be the one that scores 17 and wins 17-13? I have no idea. I don't love this Giants team even without a true number one wide receiver either. So I'm just going to rock with the Eagles and go money line here. That feels like the safest bet. I don't love betting this game.
Yeah, this is a get right bet here. We're on the same wavelength here. Eagles on the money line. It could be a blowout, but the Eagles don't seem to want to blow people out. So I'm not willing to drop more than a touchdown. So I also will be going with the Philadelphia Eagles on the money line for this one. Minus 390 on that money line. Not as bad as it could be, but still not a great one to bet unless you were adding this into a parlay, in which case get your parlays in now because you just have less than 48 hours till this game kicks off. So start looking at the rest of the week, or you could just not bet it and you could wait until our show on Saturday in order to figure out where we're going and if we can get back to that early season success that we had to start off this year.
All right, brother. I think that wraps it up, right?
Yes, sir. I think that's about it.
Well, my man, you brought us in. You want to take us out?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. I'm going to completely butcher Mike's line here, but every time that you give us a little bit of your time, it's the most precious thing that you have. We truly appreciate it. It's the most valuable thing that you got. Mike, what's the last word of the night?
Oh, I get to do last word. Cleveland State, give WCSB back to the fucking students where it belongs.
Back to the people. All right. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. Again, please give us just a little bit of support. It only takes a second out of your day. Like, share, subscribe. We would be extremely appreciative of it if you enjoy our stupid antics. If you like what we do, also throw in a comment. Let us know you like it. If you think that we're dumb, if you don't like our takes, fucking also comment. We love hearing that we're fat, dumb idiots. We're used to it. We're both veterans. We're used to being shit talked and much maligned by the verbal abuse. We love it. We're here for it.
User 53109. I don't give a fuck what you have to say.
All right. Hey, with that, this is Raw Dawg Sports. Thanks for sitting through our raw authenticity. We will see you later this week on Saturday.
See you.